In this video, we're going to show you how to get your plants off to the best possible start. When you use the recipe I'm going to show you, you're going to have a much better success rate than you would with other methods. First, make sure you're starting with good quality soil. Your planting area, if you're doing it in the ground, should be well composted. Or if you're using a container like we're going to do for this demonstration, you want to use a good quality potting soil. In this case, we're using Happy Frog. If you've ever used a synthetic potting soil like Miracle-Gro, you may have noticed a problem. Synthetic fertilizer in the soil is very nitrogen heavy, which causes the plant to divert all of its energy to producing top growth. The plant may look great for a while, but it has not been given a chance to develop a root system. So after a brief growth spurt, what tends to happen is the plant will die back again. With our planting recipe, we focus on starting the plant off with developing the roots. So when the top growth does begin to grow, it's going to have plenty of roots underneath as its foundation to support it. Here's another important point. Always move your plant from wet soil to wet soil. Never put a plant in a dry hole. The reason for that is it can cause transplant shock when you just put plants in a dry space. Okay, so now we're going to show you our special recipe. I have all my ingredients here. I have expanded shale, I have soft rock phosphate, and I have earthworm castings. We're going to mix these together into into the pot I have here, and then we're going to plant our plant into that. So first I'm going to dig a hole that's slightly larger than the plant that I'm going to be planting. I'm going to do that just by gently wiggling this container to make space, the right size space for the hole. And then I am going to add a layer of expanded shale. And this is a byproduct of the oil drilling process, shale drilling. And it's been fired in a kiln. And the result is you get a very porous rock that can hold up to 40% of its weight in moisture. And it also helps with drainage to keep the soil loose and not become compacted. Okay, next I'm going to add my earthworm castings, and I'm going to add a 50-50 mixture of my soft rock phosphate and my earthworm castings. So I'm just going to take a small handful of each and add those to my soil. These serve as my fertilizer. Next, I'm going to remove the plant from its original container. And as you can see, it's still very dry, and the roots are a little bit root bound. So I am going to, first off, break it up so that the roots aren't together, and I'm going to dunk the whole thing into my seaweed mixture that I've already prepared, so that I'm both treating the plant with the seaweed and I'm making sure that I'm going from wet soil to wet soil. And then I'm just going to put my plant in here and seed it. And now that I've done all of that, I am going to water in the whole thing some more, just to make sure everything is nice and wet and that there's plenty of seaweed in there. And we're done. So remember, always work from wet soil to wet soil. And add your fertilizer into the planting hole. These are our fertilizer ingredients, the soft rock phosphate, liquid seaweed, and earthworm castings. And then when you're done, water the whole thing in with some more of your liquid seaweed, and you're done. Thank you again for watching our video today. We hope you enjoyed it.